dân này. Thôi chạy trước em ơi. Chạy. Bấm cho em cơ. Tin. Hello.
This is Vietnam, and those were some kids from Phu Quoc Island down at the very south of the country. This is actually quite a remote spot and well off the usual Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh backpacker trail. It's actually an 8-hour bus ride from Saigon to the coastal town of Ha Tien. Ha Tien itself seemed to me to be the Vietnamese equivalent of Blackpool, with the added bonus that it's easy to enjoy the local music scene.
Because there are multiple karaoke's going on in the street at the same time, this is what it sounds like.
But I quite liked Ha Tien. I felt the complete lack of Western tourists made me something of a curiosity to the locals.
Right, I'm getting the VIP treatment here. This geezer's going to set me up with an umbrella. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I've learnt that the word for thank you is come on. Come on. And I've got the luxury of making my video in the shade. Friendly people here in Ha Tien.
From there it's an hour-and-a-half boat ride to the island of Phu Quoc itself. This is Vietnam's largest island, being slightly larger than Phuket and slightly smaller than Singapore. I spent just over a week on the island, starting out on the main town of Duong Dong. Please don't copy my pronunciation. This is Vietnam's Benidorm. There's a complete lack of Western tourists and an overabundance of Vietnamese ones. It's bright, it's brash, the night market is definitely worth a look, the beach is pretty average, the whole town is heavily reliant on tourism, and there is a wide variety of reasonably priced accommodation available. From Duong Dong I hired a scooter and set off on a circumnavigation of the island. First stop Ong Lang, a beachside place with a small expat community. Once again, great accommodation at a very reasonable price, but a less than impressive beach. From there I rode north, hoping to find something beyond Phu Quoc's usual tourist traps. I achieved this by navigating to Phu Quoc National Park, where I discovered what I can only describe as a secret road. This was a brand new concrete road still under construction that carved its way through the virgin rainforest. The road itself is not marked on this map, and getting onto it involved getting around a barrier and being grateful that the guy guarding it was asleep in his hammock. Having done so, I enjoyed a solo ride through some really nice scenery where I saw a variety of bird life. I even saw a couple of monkeys. The road took me through to the eastern side of the island, where I was rewarded by this view. The man guarding the other end of the road was awake, but didn't get out of his hammock. He just shouted at me, so I just got through the barrier and left him to it. Having got to the east coast, I turned south. I discovered that this coast was more sparsely populated, but I couldn't find the budget accommodation I'd encountered elsewhere on the island. Having said that, this fancy place cost me about $30 American a night, so pretty reasonable. From there I continued down the east coast with the occasional stop along the way.
This is Sao Beach on Phu Quoc Island. This is not the first beach I've visited, and I didn't bother videoing the last ones because they weren't really up to much, and quite honestly neither is this one. The beaches here, I mean, they're full of Vietnamese tourists. They're not exactly unspoiled, let's put it that way.
I eventually made it to An Toi on the very south of the island, which turned out to be my favourite place on the whole of Phu Quoc. This is a vibrant port town full of local colour, ideal for indulging my favourite pastime of just wandering about.
I've been wandering around getting lost around all these little back streets. It's funny, these look kind of boring on a map, but when you start wandering about, there's always something to see. These little kids, they remind me of the alley I used to play in when I was a kid.
Hello.
Hello! Went for a wander up this little path here, up to the top of this hill. I just encountered this little shrine. Just totally isolated here, nobody else here. I say there's nobody else here, but then some guy just came along and lit all the incense sticks and gave me a bottle of water. What a lovely, peaceful place. The whole town is dominated by a massive cable car, so I went off to investigate. This is Sun Premier Village on Phu Quoc Island. I say village, it's got no resemblance to any village I've ever been in, really. It's a huge holiday resort. There's nobody staying here at the moment, they're still building it. And it bears a sort of resemblance to, I don't know, it's like the Mario Kart version of Italy or something. It's so cliched. I really like it. Everything here is fake, and there's nobody staying here. It's completely empty, and it's all made out of reinforced concrete, made to look like brick and stone, old weathered buildings that are on their last legs. Everything's fake now, and it's huge, this place. I think it's the biggest holiday resort I've ever seen. It's also the most thematically consistent, and it's also the emptiest because it's not finished yet. There's nobody staying here. It's impossible not to like it, as utterly tacky and tasteless as it may be. Check that out. It's a mix of sort of Portuguese, Italian, Spanish, Greek. There's Greek statues down there. I don't care. Wonderful. And from the world's tackiest tourist resort, you can get a ride on the world's longest overseas cable car ride. At least I think that's what they said. Quite easy to believe, because it is bloody long. Goes from Phu Quoc Island out to I don't know where. Let me flip the camera around. It was odd to see the juxtaposition of the fake colours of the fake town right next to the real colours of the real town. I think I preferred the real town. There's an announcement thing in the cabin that says this ride takes half an hour, so it took me by surprise a bit. And according to this here, this is 7,899.9 meters. They've measured it pretty accurately. So yeah, it's nearly 8 kilometers long, this cable car ride. Incredible! And of course, as is the theme for this whole trip, I have this whole 30-person cable car to myself. In summary, Phu Quoc Island. Do I recommend it as a backpacker destination? Not really. It doesn't really tick the boxes that backpackers are after. They're after one of two things generally. Number one, they're after like an authentic local experience that they can get good photographs, or they're after hanging out with other backpackers, getting drunk and looking at each other's girlfriends. Phu Quoc doesn't offer either of those things. It's a destination for Vietnamese people to take a 2-week holiday. Having said that, I had a lovely time there. If you're travelling overland from Cambodia, which I was, then it's not far off the beaten track. Otherwise, it really is. So, take your pick.